why the would you do a rally on Juneteenth in Tulsa?
Because everyone's talking about it because of me, Big Daddy Trump.
Yep.
You're welcome, America. You're welcome, black people. My African-American supporters. African-Americans.
Juneteenth is the day here in Texas that the slaves and the slaves were officially freed. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation had been passed like about 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
But because Texas was full of racist ass.
You plantation owners, they didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
They didn't hear about those proclamation, emancipation. We don't need to tell anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the day that a lot of the Confederacy was still strong in Texas, and a lot of people here, a lot of slave owners here, they had their hands around the throat of their slaves and said, "You would take this from my cold, dead hands." Meanwhile, the slaves were like, "You're killing me right now." But at that time, slaves were officially free, just not in certain places in the South.
Yeah.
Because they were not going to let them go. So it was in, I think, 65 or something.
Probably a little after that.
Yeah.
Civil War ended in 65, I believe.
Did it end in 65?
I'm pretty sure. So it went all the way.
So that's when it was officially announced that here in Texas, it was announced in Galveston, Texas, that you afraid, why are we calling them phrase?
I don't know.
That's Coleman for slaves.
Yeah, yes. Shorthand. It's shorthand.
Yeah. That's a shorthand for freed slaves.
Exactly. Yeah. Phrase.
Fraves.
Nailed it. Recovered.
So these fraves out here. All these freed slaves out here, except for, I think, Aunt Jemima, the cream of wheat guy, and Uncle Ben stayed on the plantation.
Yeah. Still.
But everybody else, they said, all right, y'all got y'all's freedom.
Yeah.
So now, my man, I know you just heard this from me, and you're probably saying, I'm thanking you, Corey, for educating the people out here, and I'm thanking my company for doing this. Who you really need to thank is your boy, Donald Trump.
Yes. It's all because of me, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I made it famous. You're welcome.
Donald Trump might as well just come out and just say, you know what, I freed the slaves.
I did it. I mean, Lincoln, he did some things. He did controversial. We don't really know what happened. But I've done a lot for the black people. They love me. My guy.
Boy, this mother, I gotta.
Fucking balls.
I gotta give it to him, man. I
kind of do. The narcissism, like, man, you are so fucking narcissistic. I'm just impressed.
I can't stand this, but I gotta give it to him. Yeah. Even when you up, you own it.
The audacity of it.
You take it and you make a up all about you.
Always.
He was about to do a rally on Juneteenth. Mm-hmm. And you know how these rallies are. These rallies are full of all these people. Let's just say what it is. They're full of people who don't like black people.
Of questionable character at the very least.
A lot of them don't like black people. Give a about Juneteenth.
My people love the black people. My guy loves the blacks.
Yeah.
As he actually said a week ago.
My guy loves the blacks.
They love him.
In chains.
Mm-hmm. To each their own.
Boy, he f***ed up and came in, and somehow for him, he said, in my mind, I'm going to make this a positive. So
for himself.
People said, look, man, even his cabinet, even his advisors had to sit up here and say, Trump, sir, look, I don't like these Negroes any more than you do, but this is a bad look for you to do this rally full of people that people know don't really give a shit about Juneteenth. You want to do it on that day? If you're trying to convince people that you're not, people already know you are, but if you're trying to convince people that you even have a shred of decency and care about the black people, you cannot do this.
Yeah, especially in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is home to one of the worst racial massacres in United States history.
Yeah.
The first one of his rallies.
1921 Tulsa massacre.
Mm-hmm. Not a riot.
Not Tulsa riot. Yeah. Not Tulsa raid. No. Not Tulsa tragedy. Tulsa riot. Where they had, and this is something that y'all need to know, because this is a big part of history that today is still. And let me see if I can pull this up here.
I think most people learned about it through Watchmen.
For Watchmen.
And it's like, hey, it's eye-opening. I'm glad it did that. People are like, wait, this is real?
The Tulsa,
minds.
yeah, the Tulsa race riots.
Yeah. Which again,
It's
it's
a
a massacre.
massacre.
I know why they call it riot. I don't understand that. Because they called it that because
Yeah.
they're racist.
Because riot makes it seem like everybody was in on it.
Sure. Yep.
No.
That's exactly what. Yep. You're right.
People, the Tulsa
Massacre.
I believe 1921. This was, and this is a part of history. This is a part of history that's been buried along. You're going to hear more about these things because
Now you will.
yeah, because now throughout history, and you don't get taught this in school.
Yeah, exactly. I never knew about this in school. They never taught this.
You don't get taught this shit in school. They don't bring it up. And only thanks to the internet is
and superhero
is
shows.
this history coming out. Well, and superhero shows on HBO.
Yeah.
Because the thing with this is why, if you ever want to know seriously why black people in this country are always in poverty, don't ever start businesses, why their educational systems are bad, why, in your words, ignorance runs rampant in these communities, it's because America has never let those communities come up. And when they did come up, they burned the shit down.
Yeah, they're part of that systematic racism that his administration denies exists.
Rosewood, I've seen in the chat, Rosewood is a movie that was put out there. And people quickly forgot about that shit. Rosewood was a movie about another community where they went in and tore that community down because the white people in that community did not appreciate these uppity Negroes having what they don't have.
The black town of Rosewood was a land of opportunity. Until
Always start. Karen been back in the original Karen.
I see black people being successful.
Yeah.
Oh, the horror.
Always starts out with happening the Tulsa massacre. Some dude bumped into a white woman and they twisted the words around and says that you assaulted this white woman. Rosewood was the same thing. 2 years later, woman was having some kind of affair or something, and when she was discovered, said I was raped by some black person, and that's all they were looking for an excuse to go in there and tear that community apart, and they found it. Usually because you've done something to our women.
Tell me the truth. Was it truly our color done this to you?
You know, John Voight took this part. He's like, so
I'm a hero.
How many do I like to kill?
Yeah, I'm the hero of this movie, right?
No, yeah, I took a lot. I take a lot on that,
Because
right?
George Washington, our forefathers, they dealt with racism and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many blacks do I get to kill? None.
Oh, that's
I
unfortunate.
can talk to my agent about this.
To show you your help.
There ain't no way in the world one man got enough bullets for all them crackers.
You know, even Central Park. I hear Central Park at one time
Oh yeah.
was a very affluent. When I say colored community, that's what they said.
That's
back
what they
then.
said, yeah.
You know, our black community. They also had other people of color in there. Those people got pushed out. So
Illegally.
So whenever you hear about how black people are lazy, black people are stupid, black people are ignorant, black people don't have the capacity to learn. No, every time there's been an opportunity for us to rise, it's been burned to the ground, man. That is why. And even when people on the come up, you had redlining, redistricting. You had denial of loans for housing and businesses. You never had a legacy or an inheritance to get this from.
Yeah.
So
It's the systematic racism that so many people deny actually exists.
yeah.
And because they deny it, that's why, sadly, there doesn't seem to be a lot of things being done to address it.
Yeah. Well, Asians were able to do that because Asians were never brought here in slavery, and Asians were able to like either become a community here because nobody was burning it down, or they had people from home who sent them money or supported them. Shit, even Mexicans are allowed to come up here and do this without having their shit burned down. It's always been this thing where it's like you got here in chains and you're supposed to stay in chains. And if you're not in chains, then you're supposed to know your place. Call it system. Some people call it tradition. Some people say, it's just the way it is. It's systematic racism, man. Or systemic racism that keeps that down.
But
That's where Juneteenth came from.
Yeah.
And that's why people were looking, and that's just a long way of saying, why the would you do a rally on Juneteenth in Tulsa?
Honestly, because it'd come out, he just didn't know. And I don't think he still understands the significance of that. And the only way that he can wrap his head around it, like everything he does and touches, he has to make it about himself.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the reason why this holiday is as famous as it is now, because everyone's talking about it because of me, Big Daddy Trump.
Yep.
You're welcome, America. You're welcome, black people. My African American supporters.
Are African American.
African Americans. Lowest
This
unemployment.
man sat up here and said, because
of me.
Because I f***ed up, now the people know about this holiday that no one knew about. Might as well say I freed the slaves.
Yeah.
But that might be controversial with Lincoln.
New York Post here. Trump says he made Juneteenth famous. Sees some systemic racism
And
in the
he
US.
goes, he wasps between them.
Maybe there's some. I don't want to say there is, but maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a tiny bit. We don't know. Who knows?
But hey, no systemic racism on my part. I gave you blacks a holiday.
Yeah.
Juneteenth. You're welcome.
You're welcome, America.
Hey, Juneteenth was there. I know, but I gave it the marketing.
Yeah, yeah. It's only recognized by 47 states in America and the District of Columbia for decades upon decades. But sure, yes, it was you.
People in Waco, we celebrated Juneteenth. I mean, I used to have to explain to my friends at school. They're like, "What is this Juneteenth?" It was like, and I had to explain to people this is what it is. And white people in Waco dreaded that day because black people would just go to the park and celebrate.
Oh no! Karens would be so upset.
Yeah, man. White Waco locked their doors on Juneteenth,
There
man.
they are outside again.
Yeah, we'd go to the park, man, and it'd be full of black people just playing music and barbecuing and shit.
no.
And within a 3-mile radius, no black people came close to the park that day. Cameron Park, man, they had to build a zoo down there to get black people out of there. Do not thank your employers. Do not thank your job. Thank your president.
Your Big Daddy Trump.
If it weren't for him giving the marketing that this holiday desperately needed, then you would not be getting that holiday.
No one would know about it.
And you know something? I hate to say this, but in a way, he might be right.
In a up way, he is right.
He might be
Because
right.
He made it so controversial, and everyone like, what the hell is he talking about? And he inevitably did. By making it about himself, he let so many people know about the actual event, the
There
actual
are
holiday.
so many more white people that know about Juneteenth
like, holy
because they followed him.
Yeah.
So in a way, God damn it! Shit!
You're welcome, Mr. Coleman.
Did it again!
What I tell you?
You son of a bitch!
Trust in Trump.
He's kind of right. Fuck!
But not in the best way, not in a good way.
But no,
Not
not in a good way. But I don't want it anyway.
I know.
This fucking dude.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not in the way that he thinks at all.
No. Not in his warped mind.
That shit was a pure accident.
Oh yeah.
And an accident out of pure ignorance.
Narcissism as well.
And narcissism.
Like, I can't believe what's happening, but I also have to laugh at it a little bit.
Lord have, boy, I just got through telling this guy over here. This is the shit gets crazy. This
Oh,
world
that's right. Yeah.
Racism has gotten so bad and to the point it's weird. Racism has gotten to a point where it's just doing stunts and silly shit to get attention.
Well, they have to up their game each time.
It really
we can't
is.
rely on that old shit, KKK members, all that lynching. No, that's you gotta have a little more pizzazz in there now.
Racism is right up there with influencers and YouTubers and TikTokers.
I mean, yeah, mainstream, man. You gotta mainstream that racism.
Racism is doing what? Hey, look, it's not just you can't just be racist anymore. You can't get by just being racist. You got to be crazy to get attention. You got to be a prankster to get attention now.
They'll do it.
People, I talked to this man right here, and I asked him. I said, "Have you ever heard of the Boogaloo Bois?"
I'm like, nope. I
And
did not.
he thought I was talking about like a new boy band or some backup
Sounded
dancers.
like that, yeah.
He thought I was
Sounds nice.
talking about some break dancers or something. Have you guys heard of the Boogaloo Bois?
Boogaloo Bois.
Y'all probably think that's like a throwback rap group or something.
Yeah. I can see that from the 90s.
Yeah, Boogaloo Bois. Yeah, weren't they rappers back in the 80s? Have y'all heard of the Boogaloo Bois? And the chat is like, yeah. So y'all have probably heard about this, man. So let me for those. So I see some no's.
Yeah.
People, prepare yourself. This is the crazy world that we live in. Racism is so crazy right now that they're doing crazy shit to get attention. So we have racism that is a product of meme and social social media culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the meme culture, social media culture, YouTube culture, TikTok, all that.
4chan coming over.
4chan, yeah, man. So here's the deal with the Boogaloo Bois, and I'm just setting this up, so brace yourselves. Boogaloo Bois are actually, they're anywhere from a libertarian to a white supremacist group.
Yeah, nationalist, I guess.
White nationalists, where their whole thing is that they wear Hawaiian shirts and apparently dress like pirates.
They look like suburban dads. That's what they look like.
On vacation.
On vacation, yeah. Well, we have to get a Hawaiian shirt.
So
on vacation.
So you probably thinking like Hawaiian shirts. That's the craziest. No, that is not. No, that's just the beginning. You're probably thinking. So where's the name come from? Well, Boogaloo comes from. So what they want to do is these guys who are dressed in Hawaiian shirts,
Very intimidating.
dressed up like the Hawaiian Punch guy. They want to start a race war. The whole thing is, and we're laughing, but it's very serious. They want to start a race war. And the whole thing with doing this is that they want to start a race war so they can start the next civil war.
That's right.
The next civil war is called the Civil War Part 2. As in Civil War Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Hell yeah, man. Subtitle.
And if you know anything about Electric Boogaloo came from the movie Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo.
So don't miss it. Breakdance 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. Civil War 2, Electric Boogaloo.
But just imagine where everyone's racist. Just imagine that. Nailed it.
People, this is not a joke.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, because that became the joke. Anytime something was known as Part 2, you would say
Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy. Yeah, you know. And Schindler's List 2, Electric Boogaloo.
See, it makes you laugh.
And he put Electric Boogaloo at the end of anything. So he decided to put it at the end of the next civil race war.
Race war, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta sell it. You gotta sell it to the mainstream, man. You gotta engage.
So people, you have a group of racists who wear Hawaiian shirts and name themselves after the 80s classic Electric Boogaloo.
God, it's so bizarre.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. People, we're at the point now where they're like the Jokers from Batman Beyond.
That's what it is, yeah.
It's gone crazy. And as far as the shirts go, it has shit.
What's the shirts? Why the Hawaiian shirts?
It came from Boy, like Luau Boy or something. Yeah, it was.
Boy.
Yeah,
Man, we gotta get like a deep dive into this.
It's very deep in the craziness.
What's their
man.
creed? What do they go by? That's what I want to know. It's very confusing. They seem to be incorporating so many different things in different cultures. I mean, you guys are racist, right? You seem to be borrowing from a lot of other groups.
The messages is getting
it's getting murky.
As a black guy and a very liberal-minded white guy over here, this is just a critique. The whole racist message is kind of getting lost.
It really is, yeah.
I'm just
everything from the name to the getup and everything. It's like at least the KKK. They kept it simple. White hoods, white outfits. I guess their purity. I understood that. Lynchings and shit, burn people. Like okay. They had a dynamic they were going for.
Yeah.
These guys all over the place.
No,
step it up.
They look like it looks like people. I'm Boogaloo Bois. I'm telling you, this is all I'm saying. I mean, of course we're talking about. I think the message is getting lost. When I see this, I don't see racism. I see like middle-aged dudes hanging out at Jimmy Buffett's.
Exactly. Yeah, go for hot wings or some shit.
Yeah, I see middle-aged guys going to Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Nice. Getting those $2 margaritas.
a lot of these news services are, these news platforms are now. I don't trust any of them, to be honest with you.
Oh, they're all agenda driven now.
They are.
That's the thing.
They
That's
are.
what's so frustrating.
I've seen CNN,
Liberal and conservative.
Yep, I've seen CNN up in a lot of areas where I'm just kind of like, man, y'all, you know, this is bullshit what you're doing. But you don't hear about what they're doing. See, the Boogaloo Boys, what they're doing is they're trying to wear these shirts and they're trying to like a mockery, but their tactics are dead serious. No pun intended right here. They are going out and trying to start this race war by infiltrating protest, pulling crimes that they try to make it look like it was race driven. Mm-hmm. And this is what happened with one particular guy right here. It was a guy, was a military guy. You see here, excuse me, the bubbly's getting to me. A U.S. Air Force sergeant rode around a white van and murdered a couple of people, man.
Did he murder some police officers? Did he kill some cops?
Steve Carrillo is accused of killing David Patrick Underwood.
Officer. He was also charged with the murder of another officer 8 days later.
Yeah, there you go. Now, guarantee you go on Fox News, Tucker Carlson or Laura Ingraham, nothing Sean Hannity, none of these talking about these people that kill cops.
No, because it's not part of their agenda. Why would they?
Nah, but you will hear about Antifa. You hear about protesters and looting and all, but seriously, did they? And I looked. Did they ever mention any of this shit? These people who kill cops?
No, of course not.
No, you don't hear that. Again, you don't hear when the police go in and shoot somebody and they never pay for the crime. You don't.
Or they spin it in a way.
Or what happened? I looked up Breonna Taylor and Tucker Carlson. He never mentioned that shit.
Of course not.
Nah, man.
Because not part of his narrative that he's selling to his audience. That's not what his audience wants to hear.
Now, if the Boogaloo Boys, if they were black with the name Boogaloo Boys, and they had done the same thing,
all over the news.
What the do you think would have happened?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They would have covered that for 2 weeks.
Did anybody scream Blue Lives Matter when these shot somebody? Mm-mm. No. My dream right now is to really get in fucking Tucker Carlson's face and just say, talk that shit now, man. Not that I'm going to hurt you, but because
he'll be like, I'm being attacked by a black man.
Yeah.
Look.
He'll turn into a Karen real quick.
Oh yeah.
You know why? Because he's scared of black people. Oh, yeah. He's driven by fear. Mm-hmm. That's why he does this.
If you look at what his verbiage is, it's very obvious. They're coming for you. It's like referring to Black Lives Matter and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing.
He says, and when they come for you, and they will.
And they will.
You never mention these pirates coming for you.
No.
Yeah, let's see. All right, folks. Ahoy, matey. Let's get the way inside the margarita there.